health advocate. Let's welcome, once again, Sandra Fluke.
And we've heard from Mr. Romney recently that he said that his position is that there should be some exceptions. Mr. Ryan believes there should be no exceptions.
Mr. Romney has since that had, oh, sorry.
Yes, yes. Mr. Romney's position is a moving target, shall we say. He has said that he would be delighted to sign a bill that would outlaw all abortions in this country. In the past, he was pro-choice. He talked about his mother's work and how important it was to keep abortion safe and legal in this country because they realized that women's lives were on the line. That if we didn't have access to abortion, women would die as a result because they would, go to what is termed a back alley abortion. I am completely comfortable disagreeing with someone about their positions on abortion. I understand that these are very central moral questions and that there are arguments that I understand, and while I might not agree with them, I can respect them. What I can't respect is someone who has taken this many positions on abortion in under a decade, in the middle of his life, when I would think that your moral core would be formed by that point. At the point that you're ready to make decisions for our country, as the leader of our country, I would expect you to know what you think and be able to stick to a position on questions like this. Perhaps that's too high of an expectation, but that's what I think about when I go into the voting booth. So we had a reference to legitimate rape. Does everybody know about the legitimate rape comments? Yeah, okay. So Representative Aiken said that he drew distinctions that there were types of legitimate rape, that a woman's body could supposedly prevent pregnancy if it was a certain type of rape. That's not true. It's estimated that there are over 30,000 pregnancies as a result of rape in this country every year. So my heart goes out to all of the women who have experienced sexual assault and to the men who have gotten pregnant or not, who are so hurt by those kinds of comments. It's a terrible thing to hear from your elected official something that demeans you as a person in that kind of a way. But I do appreciate that they gave us a chance to talk about what's behind that statement, because while it's more comfortable to think about Representative Aiken, who made the statements, as being out of touch and somebody ran their mouth off or isn't he crazy or whatever you want to say, he's actually not that far out of the trend of what we've seen from some elected officials. So anyone know where he got that crazy idea?
There's a doctor with a website.
Yes, so he's more than a doctor with a website, although I'm sure he does have a website. His name is Dr. Wilkie. He's been putting out this idea that women's bodies can fend off pregnancies from sexual assault since the mid-'80s, so almost as long as I've been alive. And he has really infiltrated many, many parts of the anti-choice community. So there are a lot of people who really believe this, that he did a lot of interviews down at the Republican National Convention, and delegate after delegate espoused these views. But do you know who else agreed with Dr. Wilkie and thought Dr. Wilkie was just such a great, smart guy? Better than that, Romney. Governor Romney, in an earlier campaign, I think 2007, if I'm getting that right, but recently, said that he was so pleased to have Dr. Wilkie's endorsement and that he has been a courageous leader for the pro-life movement in this country, and that he was, quote, an important ambassador for my pro-life agenda. This was said several decades after Dr. Wilkie began espousing these types of lies about women's health care and has continued to do so regularly since then. So this really concerns me, because what this shows me is that we have Mr. Romney doing one thing when people are not paying attention, when he's just talking to a particular group of voters, when he's talking to the anti-choice community, and he's able to say, look at Dr. Wilkie, he's such a great guy, but then suddenly when it's under a real media spotlight, when mainstream media is picking up on it, when all of you are hearing about it, then no, this is not something I agree with, this is not something I believe in. And we know, somebody was talking about Ryan and Dr. Wilkie. Yes, Mr. Ryan co-sponsored legislation that drew distinctions between which victims of rape could have access to abortion care. So this meant that some victims of incest would not have had access. The victims of statutory rape would not have been eligible for abortions. And we know that most rape in this country is about someone being drugged or coerced in some way. It's not typically about someone jumping out from behind a bush and attacking you, but that those types of sexual assaults by the use of drugs or coercion would not have qualified as being a survivor of rape under that bill.